Hello everyone, it's me Catherine, and I am currently very impatiently waiting for some paint to dry. So before I do something really silly, like not wait for it to be finished and somehow try and do what I want to do with the paint still wet and then ruin it, I figured now would be a great time to start part 2 of this blue flag reading vlog, because I am attempting to watch and eat, but I'm sat right in front of it and I know that it's calling to me, so I need to completely take my mind off it. So let's jump into the second and final part of Blue Flag, the last 4 volumes. Let's see. We'll see where these kids are gonna take us. Okay, sorry, we're on my phone again, so like quality change, sound change, I don't fucking know, whatever change. But my battery died like almost immediately after starting this. But like I knew Tomo had got him a present but just didn't want to give it him, and it's so fucking cute, and like it's a handmade charm and Taichi's so happy with it, and Tomo is like, oh god, he's too precious. They're too precious. And then they get so awkward because like he's so happy that it's handmade. Like he's like, well, that's really cool. And Toma's like, so like, I love them so much. Also, he was like, I literally just put it down and he had to tell him, it's like, Sian Futabami, we decided to start going out. It's happening. It's happened. They're dating, so let's see how this goes. But we've got 4 volumes, like what could possibly go wrong? What the fuck is Mami up to? She's cut her hair, she's had a haircut, and now she's like jumping at Ichinose. She's like basically thrown herself, well, I'm not saying thrown herself, I mean she bumped into him and it was weird, and now she's like showing an interest in video games and asking him to teach him more about this stuff. And I'm like, people are accusing Kuze of getting close to, Futaba. I was like, Futaba of getting close to Taichi in order to get close to Toma. But is this what Mami's doing? I really hope Toma doesn't date her just because that would be really shitty of him. And while I don't like her, she definitely deserves better than that. But like, what is her game? I really need my camera back to not be dead, but yeah, I don't know. I don't remember this guy's name, the guy with the headband from like Mami's like friend group. Well, I don't want to say friend group, from the boys that sort of like hang out with Mami. But he knows exactly what her game is. He knows what's up, and he ain't afraid to call her out on it either. Not that she's listening to him, but she's fucking around with him, and I want to know. But no, I like him. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, dude. I don't know your name, but you are cool. Mami, not so cool. I literally don't know what her, like, they're dating. I don't know what the fuck she's playing around at, but she needs to stop. Okay, so Mami is cool. Mami is cool. She was intentionally played off as the mean girl type to start off with for this whole thing to happen with her being friends with Taichi, and it is to get close to Toma. But we've learned now that Toma she's in love with Toma. That was obvious, has been obvious. He's already turned her down, but he said he doesn't mind being friends with her. And this is why Toma isn't like turning her away, isn't like, Mami just wants friends. She's so sick of being treated as a girl rather than just as a person, as a friend. And that the guy with the headband, Shingo, I knew he was cool. We've just ended on a thing where he's texted us, you know, saying, you doing okay, BFF. And it's made us smile, and that is cool. Mami is cool, and I'm very glad she is, because I don't think I could have handled her being the mean girl. Like, she is mean, and she's admitted that she has not been the nicest person, but it's through past experience, through lived experience, and she's like, he's already turned me down, so I can't be Toma's girlfriend, but I would like to be his friend, and I'd like to be a close enough friend that when he does eventually get a girlfriend, probably not gonna happen, she'll be important enough to him that he won't just send her away because his girlfriend asked, because his girlfriend's insecure, because, you know. So Mami is cool. My battery is not fully charged on this camera, but it's enough for now. But yeah, no, Mami, I'm glad. I like Mami. I like Mami a lot. She's cool, and I hope she's happy. I really hope she finds happiness. Shingo, the guy in the headband, I like him a lot. Like, Kensuke, the guy who keeps trying to go out with Ami, can absolutely get fucked, but like, Shingo, I like him a lot, but he knows, like, he's very perceptive. And I think he's accused Toma of leading Mami on, and that's not the case. We know that's not the case. He's just being friends with her, and that's fine. But he knows he's hiding something. He knows, and that's how Volume 5 ends. Like, he's aware. But no, Mami looked really cute with short hair. Like, it was really, she just wants to be friends. She just wants people to stop, like, accusing her of, like, she can't do anything right. Sorry, there's just a load of extras at the end of Volume 5, just flicking through. But yeah, no. So Shingo, I really like him. I really like him. I hope he doesn't, like, out Toma. That would be really uncool. So, like, don't make me disappoint. Don't disappoint me, Shingo. Don't disappoint me. I feel like I haven't been updating as much, but there's been a lot of talk of, like, college and what they're gonna do after college, and Toma, like, not going to college, and like, what do you consider happiness and what do you want? And the chapter's just ended on Toma, like, he stood up from the bench, he sat next to Taichi, then he stands up, he's turned around, he's leant over and put at least one hand next to Taichi's head, so he's like, and asked, what do you think I want the most? What do you think the thing I want the most is, or something? I can't remember Meridian. It's getting intense. Like, we've got Masumi out with Akiko, just happened to bump into each other outside because they're not at the school festival, and they're having this talk, and about Toma comes up, and like, Masumi asks Akiko, you know, what do you consider happy to be? And I think Masumi, it's weighing on her that she doesn't like boys. I think this is her biggest thing, that she knows this about herself, but I don't think she's accepted it about herself. I don't know, I kind of just want to cry. Like, not a lot's happened, there's not a lot to talk about, essentially. There's been no like massive moments of, oh my god, look at this. There was the fucking haunted house that Toma and Taichi went. There's so many moments between Toma and Taichi, and it feels so much for Toma in those moments, because Taichi has no idea, and Taichi has no idea, and he just does all these things with Toma and to Toma. Like, obviously it was dark in there, and Taichi gets really scared that he doesn't like horror stuff, and he like is holding on to me, like grabbed his face to make sure that it was Toma, because obviously it's dark and he couldn't see, and it's just like all these things, like, what is that doing to Toma inside, knowing that it's not something he's going to be able to have. And then we have this whole thing with Futaba and Taichi, and like going to college, picking what university they want to go to and why, and the reasons. And Futaba wants to go to a university, she's confused about what she wants. Because she wants to go to a university with Taichi, but she also said she'd go to Hokkaido with Masai. It looks like, the thing is, from what I saw of her things that she's written down, Hokkaido is the one she wants to go to the most, at least from the little bits that we've seen. But there's also the college that she said would be better for all her stuff, but like, she gets to be with Masumi, and the campus looks really fun in Hokkaido, and it has things that she wants there, but Taichi's not going to Hokkaido. And then we have Taichi asking his mates, whose names I can't remember, the mushroom guy and Omega and everything, if I changed my first choice, like, how would I go about doing that? And then the mushroom guy is like, hey, he said a whole thing about, obviously, you don't go pick university just because your girlfriend's going to be there, because that's it's not a good reason to pick a university, necessarily. If it really doesn't matter to you which university you want to go to, then I guess pick that one, because it's, you know, it really makes no difference to you. But don't base it entirely on that, and like, have a think about what it is you want, and make the choice that you think at that moment that you think you will regret the least. I don't say won't regret, because you can't predict what you're going to regret in the future, because you have no idea what's going to come from those choices that you make, so you have no idea, right? I really, really, really am so scared. I'm so scared. Okay, he did not confess. Did make Taichi a little uncomfortable, and then he's just sort of left. He just sort of stood up, smiled and left, and I kind of want to cry, because Taichi got really confused, and he was like laughing, like, I guess uncomfortably a little, and pushing him away, and Toma just looks at him, and it's just, sitting here is an absolute pain for recording, but no. So like, Masumi basically just came out to Akiko, and they had like a really like nice conversation, and Akiko like assuring her, like saying that, you know, you're not wrong for being the way you are. It's not a bad thing that you're keeping secrets. And she's getting her list of songs to listen to as like pick-me-ups. And we've got Lady Gaga, Born This Way, great tune. Taylor Swift, Change, I don't know that one. Cyndi Lauper, True Colours. Miley Cyrus, The Climb. Alright, and Taylor Swift, Shake It Off. And it's just so funny because it turns out Akiko is a translator. She translates, I think, from English into Japanese. Like, she read a quote to Akiko, or like thingied a quote, spoke a quote, told her a quote from a book that she translated, which is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I just want to give Masumi a hug. Like, I just really, 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 really want to just... She's actually listening to them. Like, she made notes. She got out a little notebook and, like, made notes. And it's just the cutest thing. I like Masumi a lot. Like, she's not been a big focus over this, because obviously it's mostly Taichi. We've got Futaba and then Toma. And then Masumi sort of, like, after that. And we have Mami now as well. And that whole thing. And it's just... I want to give Mami a hug. Mami? I mean, I would like to give Mami a hug as well because she's trying her best. But also Masumi, I would like to give her a really big hug. Just like, hey, if she wants, it's okay, darling. You're gonna be okay, probably. Okay, so Mami and Tom have just had this really nice moment with all the makeup, right? They've had that makeup, you know, the makeup scene, and it's really nice. And she's like, we can be friends, right? We can be friends. And Kensuke is outside, the guy who's like been bugging Mami to like go out with him for ages and ages and ages and ages. And I think Toma's just confessed to Mami who he likes. Like, he's had feelings for Taichi, and Kensuke is outside the door, and I am so fucking terrified that this is gonna go to shit, because like his outing, I don't want him to get outed. I don't want him to get outed to the whole school or the whole class or to anybody until he's fucking ready. And he was not ready for Kensuke, and Kensuke should not have been there, and he should just keep that shit to himself. But I don't think he's going to. I do not think he's going to, and I am so, so terrified right now. Okay, so Kensuke didn't immediately run off and tell everybody. He actually opened the door and was like, what the hell did you... He got really mad at Toma. He's like really angry at him. And then Shingo's shown up as well. And we've just, the baseball team have had a phone call, and they've told Taichi, like, it's Toma. And it's like, what the fuck? Kensuke, my dude. He said it. He said it. So they had a fight. There's been a bunch of rumors going around. So like, there's rumors going around that he's gay. Some people say it's because he confessed to Kensuke, and he was like, what the fuck, no. And then some people are like, it's because he's really in love with. And it's never said, but they've been suspended because I guess Shingo got caught up in it as well. And Toma's called Taichi out, like they've gone to just hang out at a park or something, and he's just said it, I love you. And he's smiling at him, and Taichi is just like, sorry? Who's saying sorry? That's how that volume ended. I guess he wanted to be, I guess now that it was like close to getting out, he wanted to be the one to say it. Because he asked him, like, did Mami say anything to you? And he's like, no, she wasn't even here today as far as he could tell. And it's just... He said it. He said it. And someone said sorry. Whether it's Taichi that said sorry, because Taichi is always saying sorry, or whether Toma's apologising for being in love with him and for loving him for a long time. 2 more volumes to go. And not a full tear has been shed yet. I can feel it, but not a full tear has been shed. Okay, so volume 7 start. We've got the aftermath of Toma's confession, and it turns out he confessed, said sorry, and walked away. And Taichi just like had no fucking clue what to do. He's gone home, and Futaba's called him, and he said, I'm in love with you. And you, and she's like, oh, I'm in love with you, Taichi-kun. And she mentions Toma, and he's like, don't talk to me about Toma. And I mean, I get it. I mean, I don't get it actually, but no, I do get it. I think just having to cast back to when I was at school, and it would never even have crossed my mind that any of my friends could have potentially been gay. Not only gay, but in love with me, like at the time. And so like, this has got to be a really scary time for Toma, And Taichi's whole world has just been, like he said, turned upside down because he's not really sure what the fuck is going on anymore. And obviously he now has some things that he needs to work through, and I just... I feel like this is going to be a bumpy ride. This is going to be a real bumpy ride. Okay, so Toma is out to the whole school, and then you've got the girls being really fucking weird and creepy about it. Saying, oh, isn't a girl and a guy dating really boring? Like, because they should just bow out for Toma, and it's so fucking disgusting. Like, this isn't... Gay people aren't there for your entertainment, love. That's not what this is, you fucking absolute dipshits. Futaba's like listening to all of this, and it's like, what the fuck? And they're being so mean about Futaba as well, and it's, I really hope Mami was supposed to show up today, and I really hope she turns up, because it's mentioned that, and I really hope she just shows up to, like, no, but Masumi is here. Masumi is here to save the day. Man, Kensuke needs to fucking get a hold of himself. I mean, good for him for being attracted to all women, but like, he's super fucking... How women are different, girls are different. He can't see girls as like friends. They are just girl friends, like friends who are girls, whereas they're not his pals. And it's just, you can't treat girls and guys the same. And I just want to, like, he needs because he's talking about to rough housing, how there's places on girls you can't touch, and it's like, well, there's places on guys you can't touch. You feel fucking weird if someone just randomly touched your junk, right? Or your ass. Literally the only place that's a bit weird to touch on girls is the tits, and it's really easy to avoid and like not do in a weird way. Like, as long as you're not groping, it's fucking fine, innit? And it's just, I don't know. This whole girls and guys are different. I hate it. Yes, there are differences, but we're also the same. You know what I mean? It's like... So Kensuke's just really simple. He's like, he's like, girls are girls and dudes are pals, and he doesn't understand attraction to dudes because he wouldn't ever be attracted to his friends, and it's just so simple and so stupid. And the girls who are here, I can't remember their names, are just like, quit being all against stuff just because you don't get it. You don't get it because you're dumb, not because it's bad. Yeah, it's not bad because you don't get it. You just don't get it because you're just not necessarily dumb. He's like a super fucking exception. Like, just everything's really simple in his head, and he can't wrap his head around it being different, and it's just... I can't get around people thinking different to him. I don't know this girl's name, but I need to learn it because she's hitting the nail on the head. She's on about like people who say that they hate things and hate things a lot are just really stupid because like, and weak and jerkish, because like, you're saying you hate it, but really what you're saying is I don't understand it, and I don't want to spend the time trying to understand it. I don't want to give it any more thought. I just don't want to think about it anymore. So you just say you hate it and back off. It's like, so people who say I don't get it and get all whiny about it are like the stupidest of the stupid. So true. So fucking true, because what don't you get? What is there to not get? Okay, what is it you're not understanding here? And I'm really glad Taichi's here, because I think he's been really confused by this whole thing, because it's just come out of fucking nowhere. He's found out his childhood friend is in love with him, and he just really doesn't know what to think of it. And it's just a whole thing. Okay, Shingo is also like saying, you know, is saying cool, right things like, if everybody else thinks something fine, does that mean you're not allowed to dislike it? But we're also not talking about like pizza or like fucking films and TV. We're literally talking about who someone likes, how someone is as a person, and if you dislike that, you're gonna have to ask yourself why. Like, he's right, if you have a different opinion from everybody else, are you just supposed to put your head down and shut up? But the thing is, we're not talking about pizza. We're not talking about pizza, we're talking about someone's feelings here, someone's emotions, and I'm about to cry because I'm actually really angry right now, and like, I'm really angry because we're not talking about an opinion on a piece of media or something, or, you know, like music or a film or a TV or like food or clothes or things like that. We're literally talking about someone's whole being, whole person, and the way that they are, and how they live, and how they love, who they love. That's what we're talking about, and that is a completely different thing. This isn't a fucking pizza topping. This isn't a pizza topping you can just say you don't like it and everyone's gonna be fine with it. Oh, Kensuke! We're gonna get over the fact that, like, he got really mad and he thinks two dudes getting it on is gross, okay? We're gonna completely bypass that. But he got upset because, wait, hold on. It's not like Tomo's hurting anybody by it, and he's not hurting anybody. Shingo's like, you sure about that? Well, I can say for certain he's not doing anything to hurt Kensuke, who he likes for sure is none of your business. Yes, it is. What, seriously, how? 'Cause we're pals! Kensuke! We're friends, that's why it pissed me off. Oh damn, it's coming out. That's not a reason to hate gay people, my dude. Like, that's really awful that it happened to you. Molested by another man. That's really awful. I'm sorry that happened to you. But that is not a reason to hate gay people, okay? If that was a reason to hate gay people, I mean, we do. I was like, then women should hate men. And no, we don't. We don't. Not, that's a reason to hate men, not gay people. That's not true. Don't hate men. I mean, yes. You know what? I'm just gonna read this because I've skipped over a lot trying to get to the crux of it. I just need to, we've gone on a roller coaster because we're pals. But it turns out, no, he does have a problem with gay people because he was molested by a man. We're gonna bring this in. That's not a reason to hate gay people, okay? That's your trauma talking. You need to sort through that, and it's awful, absolutely fucking awful that happened to you. Is Toma like that? Has Toma ever molested you? Molested anybody that you were aware of? Okay, we had a lot going on there. Okay, there was a lot going on. But at the end, it was just like, dude, you wanted to, that was your girlfriend and you were ruthless. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? They were dating? I don't even know which one they were talking about. The dark-haired girl or the light-haired girl. But yeah, just like, and Taichi's just like, what? Like, huh? But you know, a lot was going on there. Like, and Kensuke is aware that, you know, it's not all dudes. But like, because it's happened to him multiple times in the past, it's hard for him to think about two dudes that way because of how it relates to him and his trauma, which is understandable. So it's kind of, I feel like Kensuke is it's not someone you can just brush off as being a homophobic asshole. It's something that it's rooted in his trauma and things that he's experienced. So you can't just brush it away. And like, while the girls were talking sense at the beginning, like Kensuke's ideals are extreme. Like his values are very extreme, in his way of thinking is extreme. And they did gang up on him. They were ganging up on him. I was sort of just like skimming through a lot of it, but they were ganging up on him and telling him that his ideals are wrong. And like, he definitely needs to sort some things out, and this isn't the environment, this isn't the place to do it, and they're not the people to do it. And Shingo, I'm on about two dudes punching out, is that your way of friendship? And it's like, you shouldn't be punching out. Like, obviously you need an outlet. Friendships, like relationships in general, should not be conflict free, because if it is conflict free, that generally means somebody is holding something back to not argue, to not cause a disturbance, and that's not healthy. But punching people is also not healthy. Like, there's ways to do it. Like, these are extremes. Yeah, I think it's the long-haired girl is his girlfriend, because the focus is on them too. But I wonder what they're going to talk about, because they wanted to talk to Taichi alone, Kensuke and Shingo. Or was the dark-haired girl his girlfriend? I have no idea. But yeah, so, oh boy, did that, yeah, it's a lot. And they're still kids, you know. You know, they got a lot to go through and work through, and everything's going on, and it's just, yeah. No, I really like Mami. I really like Mami a lot. She's like, because her, Futaba and Masumi are having this talk outside after the whole thing that happened around the lockers with the girls talking shit. And Futaba is like really not sure what to do, what to feel right now, because she's not talked to it to Taichi, and she's comparing feelings, excuse me, or whatever, and trying to imagine, and Mami's like, hey, hold the fuck on. Like, you can't measure people's feelings. You can't look at someone. There's no measuring someone's feelings and weighing them and comparing them against somebody else's. That's not how you do it. You only know your own feelings and trust your own feelings, and that's important. That's the important bit. And I really like her a lot, and I hate that they set her up as the mean girl to begin with. I mean, I get it. It was for the whole thing of that's how people perceive her, so that's how we were supposed to perceive her. So, you know, we can find out, you know, more about her and stuff like that, but it's just, oh shit, she fetched up Masumi confessing. She's like, she's trying to imagine what Taichi's feeling right now. I'm like, I wonder what he's thinking now. I wonder what it feels like. If I was in his place, I wonder, would it feel like I'd just been confessed to by you, Masumi-chan? And she's like, fuck. If someone that important to me, that precious, confessed me right now, was that, okay, no, it wasn't that, what the fuck? What is happening? What is happening with these kids? Oh my god. Okay, Kensuke is just really simple-minded, and he's like, I can't dislike him. I see why Mami is still a friend with him. I cannot dislike him because he still wants to be friends with Toma. He just doesn't know how because he's realised that his friend's been changing himself for Kensuke. You know what I mean? He doesn't know how they can go back to how they were, and like Kensuke's gonna have to be careful because now he knows like the whole trauma thing. You know what I mean? And Shingo's like, me and Toma are already back to being cool. Like one phone call and it's good. And we flash back to the Mami and Futaba and Masumi's walking away. And Mami, I think, is putting things together. It's clicked in her head because she saw the look on Masumi's face and how like upset she's getting, and she knows. Futaba has no fucking clue because she's like, did I do something wrong? No, darling, you really didn't. Is she running after Masumi? She is. Oh my god. So Mami and Masumi have had their little fight in the street, and it's just want to sit them all down and feed them ice cream and desserts and all of the things that they could possibly want, and just be like, hey, it's okay. It's actually okay. I know the world feels really big and scary, and like you're literally 17, 18, but it's okay. And this whole idea of being different and what's normal and like having to blend in with everyone and change yourself to be something you're not in order to not stand out, to not be othered, so then people can be happy. And it's just, and Masumi's like, you don't understand, and Mai's like, of course I don't fucking understand because you don't tell me anything. I don't know anything about you because you don't tell me. Like, you never let on, so of course I wouldn't. I don't know you. You won't let me. And like, have you considered maybe I want to notice these things? Maybe I want to notice these things. And I think she's thinking about Toma as well. Like all this time she wanted to go out with Toma, obviously, but he doesn't like her that way. So like, she wanted to be friends with him. And like, she wants to know. And like, obviously Toma and Masumi don't owe her that. She's not owed anything. But at the same time, it's got to be hard to realise that these people that you think you know and that you think you love, that you don't actually know them all that well at all. Oh boy, we nearly got some tears there, I tell you that. This is kind of hard. This is kind of getting really hard now because we're getting into the whole thing. We've had Toma, his big brother Saya, sat him down and had a talk with him, like, literally, I just want you to be happy. Like, no matter what you do, I might oppose you, I might admonish you, I might try to stop you, but I will never reject you. I will always support you. And Toma didn't like say anything, he just said he's sorry and did he say thanks? I genuinely can't remember. Then we have, like, I know I said I was rooting for Taichi and Futaba regardless. Like, if that's where this was going, I would root for them, and god damn do I still want to, but I kind of wanted, near the beginning I was like, oh, maybe this isn't going to end in relationships, but I mean, it's here, it's still here, and obviously I want it to work out for them. Here we go. Just full blown. All he wanted was to have Taichi smiling by his side. He just wanted to see him smile when they were together. And he saw when it stopped being that way, and he saw Kuze, Futaba was the way to get it back, and then it's just, oh, fuck. That's volume 7 finished. On to the last one. No, because why are these two dumbasses shouting like compliments at each other? Like, what the fuck? Like, you're super cool and talented, and also you're an amazing person. You're really cute, Futaba. No, I'm not cute at all. Yes, you are. You're adorable. I'm not. Oh, too. You're way cuter than I am. And he's just like, what? No, that's impossible. Why? You're super cute. I know, I love them. I love them so much. Oh god. I don't know how I feel about how the overall ending was portrayed with that first person stuff, but also it's not the first time it's done it because it's done it with Toma before. And like, was it a perfect ending? No, but also like, because nothing was outright said, and this manga hardly ever just says things, and I find it really hard sometimes to read between the lines. But is Masumi out as bi? Potentially on the bi, pan, omnisexual, is omnisexual thing? I'm sure I've heard that word. She looked amazing, but she looks amazing, by the way. And like, she has a husband, and obviously high school, not all high school romances last, and we don't have the reason for Futaba and Taichi breaking up, and we don't hold on, let me go back to, it's 52 that confuses me the most. I think the final chapter I feel like is mostly, but it's the end of 52. Hold on, let me go all the way, because I was really upset because it was like, I want you there as my best friend, and he looks so cute when he says it. He's so determined, like, I want you there as my best, like they track him down, and I want you there as my best friend. I want you in my life. I want you to be happy in my life. Like, it's gonna be hard obviously hanging out with the guy who turned you down, but like because he's like, all I can say is what I want now is I want to pass my exams, I want to figure out what I want to do, and I want Futaba to be there, but I also want you to be there. And it's crazy, and I'm glad that they managed to make this work. I'm like, and Masumi just, obviously she never said anything to Kuze, but I like to think she seems to figure something out for herself and that she's doing well for herself. Never said a thing, and then 2 years after high school, Futaba and I broke up, but it doesn't say the reason. The reason will probably sound stupid to others, but what was the reason? Like, the two of us decided we didn't want to follow other people's ideas of happiness, and instead wanted to build our own. That's why we went our separate ways, but I don't understand that, okay? I think that maybe it's just me being dense, but I don't understand. Like, the two of us decided we didn't want to follow other people's ideas of happiness, so I'm not sure what that has to do with their feelings, but that's fine, I guess. He got depressed, went out for a drink, and then 5 years later, couldn't bring myself to go and see her. I even managed to convince myself. But Toma had kept in touch, and one day, out of nowhere, he invited all of us to hang out together again. At first I said no, but it didn't take long for me to realise that this was Toma's way of making one last move. I need a lot of things written out for me. So was he already living with Toma? Were they still in touch, him and Toma? Like, him and Futaba weren't, because obviously that wasn't going to work. But then he comes home, I'm home, hello. So obviously he's living with somebody. We don't see who he's living with, but we see Taichi, and it's a wedding invitation for Futaba's wedding. And then obviously we go into the last chapter, and it's from first person. And because his name is the guest, he puts Ichinose, which is Taichi's surname. But we know it's not Taichi at this event. Taichi, because Futaba was getting married today, but also on the same day, was it Omega? I can't remember his real name, was also getting married, so they split. One went to Futaba's wedding, and the other went to Omega's wedding. And since, you know, it's all from Toma's first person perspective, and because we don't get any of his side of the conversation, it's all one-sided. We only see the other person's side of the conversation. So, like, just so you know, Masumi-chan and you two, I still look up to you so much. I hope, like you and Masumi-chan did, I can find the happiness I chose. Like, I have no idea who she's marrying, some rando. He shakes their hands, and then he they got messages, you know, we're on the train, and then they meet up, and it's like, man, exactly the same timing was perfect. And like, he references Kensuke, which was one of Toma's school friends, so unless he suddenly decided to date Shingo, but Shingo was never a friend of Futaba, so that wouldn't make any sense. Like, even when you try to make the best choice you can, you might hurt someone, you might hurt yourself, you might wind up regretting the whole thing. Conversely, one choice might go so well, and you might find happiness so precious to you that you fear making the next choice that faces you. And yet we have no choice but to keep choosing over and over. If so, then I hope that at least the future your choices lead you to is... And we get lots of things of people living their lives. So we've got... Masumi seems really genuinely happy with her husband, so I'm really glad for her there, that she's like figured something out for herself, found her happiness. Mami as well, doing her makeup. I think we got Seiya and Akiko with all of their babies, and, you know, people from school, and the baseball team. Geez, But we see a wedding ring on his left finger. Let's head home. Holding out his hand. And then that's it. And it's like, so it has to be him and Toma, right? Like it has to be. Like, I'm probably being super dense. Like, people are like, obviously it's Toma. Like, but like, I would have liked something a little more direct. Simply because I'm going to be, but it has to be. And in my, you know what, in my head, maybe it's done that on purpose, like you can think what you want, but it has to be, it literally has to be. I guess the important thing was Taichi finding happiness, but I would have liked to have seen Toma smile as well at that moment, but he had to, because we haven't, since that moment on the beach, when they were still in high school, we don't see Toma's face. Like, is that a deliberate choice? And why is that the choice? Like, what was the reason? But I said I'd cry. I also said I thought it was going to end with no relationships, and I was wrong completely. All the relationships at the end there, because we got years later, and even if it wasn't, didn't we still got Futaba and Taichi. And no, I was right, it was going to make me cry, and it was going to be emotional, and it was going to be a time. But I really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to have to buy this for myself. I really fucking love this. I'm so glad I read it. I was pleasantly surprised, I think, by the end, because it tends to be, you know, the high school romance. Even it was still sort of high school, you know. Childhood friends is one of my absolute fucking favorite foundations for a romance. I enjoyed that a lot. I actually enjoyed that a lot. Like, I could see why it's not an ending that some people might, some people might not like the ending. And like I say, I don't know if it was, I think I might. But then again, I don't know. I was like, maybe I think at the end I would have liked it to come out of the first person perspective and to see from a third person them at the train station, just that final thing. But I guess I don't need it, but I would have liked it to be. But yeah, so that's gonna do it. So that has been Blue Flag by Kaito. I know, it's so good. It was so good. No, so that's gonna do me. That's gonna absolutely do me. So thanks so much for watching, everybody, for sticking with me through this. Really appreciate it, especially if you've watched both parts. Like, if you watched this part without watching the first part, go back and watch the first part. What the fuck are you doing here? But also, just thanks. Do come talk to me in the comments about it, because oh my god, I love this so much. I love them so much. I just want it. Everyone was happy, and that is all I wanted. That is literally all I wanted. So please come talk to me in the comments. But apart from that, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are, and I will hopefully see you in another video soon. Bye bye.